Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Papercrafts here. Welcome back to another Simple Sundays project, and today it's this little mini gift bag here. Now this week I'm going to do a mini series called Old Meets New, and I'm actually remaking some projects that featured on my blog maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and it was in the days before I did any videos, so I thought I would go back and make an old project with new products and do a video rather than a blog post. So that's where this little bag came from. So I think I first made this bag in 2016 or something. I'm trying to find it on my blog but I can't see the date. So I'm going to show you how I made it. It doesn't take a lot of paper at all. So I'll grab my scoreboard and my designer series paper, and I'm using a piece from the, oh gosh, I can never remember these new ones yet. Is it World? Oh no, in Good Taste designer series paper. So it's the one with all the wooden and tile effects on them, and I'm actually using the back side of this sheet here. So it measures 11 inches by 4 inches, so you'll actually get 3 of these from one piece of designer series paper. So here goes for the first time, I think, following my own directions from my blog. So we'll see how that goes. I've got them here on my phone, but I'll link to the original project so that you can see the photos and things, because I did a pictorial guide at that time. So on the long side we're going to score at 3.5, 5 1/4, 8 3/4 and 10.5. And then before we go to score the short side, what I want to do is make a couple of tick marks at 4 3/8 just here, and at 9 5/8, so that's just beyond 9 1/4. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my paper round, and I'm going to, no I'm not, I'm going to turn it anti-clockwise. That's the very important part. So from here, when I've done the scoring and then the tick marks, I want to turn it anti-clockwise to do the score for the base, and I'm going to score at 2 3/4. So far I'm not that great at following my own instructions, even though it's a bag that I made up 4 years ago. So we're going to do some folding and burnishing now on all of those score lines, and I just want to make sure that those stay straight as I fold it together. I've got another couple of score lines to do, which maybe I should have done before I folded these ones, but that's okay. We can add them in now, because from those I'll do it before I fold the base. So I need to grab my ruler and another scoring tool, and from these tick marks here, which are halfway across the top side of each of what will be the side panels, I want to score from here down to the bottom corner on each one. So I'm just going to put my scoring tool, in fact I'm going to use the smaller end, so I'm going to start in that crossover where the score lines meet, and just put my ruler slightly to the left of that indentation, so that when I bring my scoring tool up it actually hits that mark. And same again from this side, just slightly to the left, and I'm going to do the same in this side panel here, once I can actually see where the score lines are and where my tick mark is, which is there. So score line here, and it's hard to see There we go. So I'm going to ignore those just for the time being, and I'll come back to those in a minute, and then just score that, or fold and burnish that last score line. So the bit that we're going to get rid of is this 1/2 inch side here is a tab that's going to join my bag together. So I'm going to get rid of this little rectangle on the bottom, but I always find it easier to turn it over to the other side to do that for some reason. And I'm just going to cut at an angle there and cut at an angle there as well. And then I'm going to cut up these score lines which make the base of the bag just to that horizontal score line there, keeping the straight edge on the rectangle, removing the score line onto that smaller rectangle and just doing a slight notch on either side. And the same again here, straight edge on the larger rectangle and a small notch either side of the smaller rectangle, like so. And then before I do anything else, I'm just going to fold and burnish these score lines that I made on the sides of my bag, just to help it to go together easier. You don't have to burnish them, you can just fold. Oops. Oh, I'm just going to have to redo that one because I've gone to, if you see, I've taken my score line to that line and not the fold. So we'll just pretend that that mistake didn't happen, but fortunately it will be hidden when the sides of the bag go together. But just make sure that you can actually see properly depending on the pattern on your paper. So we'll just ignore that wee blip there. And as I say, when the bag goes together, we're not going to see that. At least I hadn't folded it. I can actually rub some of that out again just to flatten it out. There we go. So don't do that. There we are, we can't really see it now. So this is the side panel where we're going to join the bag together. So I'm going to grab my tear and tape and just pop a bit along the side near that fold. And then, as always, when the bag goes together, we want the seam rather, to be at the back. So this is the front flap, which is going to fold in last, or fold over last. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape on this side of the middle of those smaller flaps to help hold the bag together. And then all I need to do is grab my other take your pick tool, take the backing off the tape and make sure any overlap of the tape is folded in, and just fold up these sides together. And then I'm going to remove the tape on my two side flaps here, making sure not to stick one of them to the base, and tuck my can't remember now, my back flap in, and then the two side flaps. No, I'm going to do the two side flaps first because the base is actually not quite meeting because I wanted more height in my bag. So I'm starting to doubt myself there. There we are, so just give that a press. Not great so far at following my own instructions. Oh my goodness me. And let's just tuck in any of the tape that's overlapping here and make sure that the front flap, oops, when I bring that over, it's not overlapping at the sides. And then again, just give that another press with my paper folder. And then those side scores that I've folded and burnished already just help the bag to fold together nicely. And then because we don't have a Stampin' Up! 1/4 inch punch anymore, I'm actually going to use my crocodile here, and I'm just going to eyeball where the middle of this bag is for the purposes of making a hole for my ribbon, and I reckon it's probably about there. I'm trying not to bend my bag too much, which I've managed to do, but you won't see it once I've tied the ribbon. And then I used the Forever Greenery combo pack, so it has this very vanilla sort of woven ribbon and this gorgeous shimmery thread, and depending on what you use it for, as you can see on this box, you can fray the ends. They do start to fray slightly anyway, but I quite like that frayed look on this particular bag. So I'm just going to grab my ribbon scissors and cut off about that much. I don't need a lot, and about that much of the gold thread, really scientific. And all I did was I popped my ribbon through, and to help to hold it together I just tied it in a single knot, just like that, and then gathered these ends together and tied the gold thread round in a bow. Now I'll sort these once I've tied my bow. So it's trying to run away from me, so I'm just going to pop a punch there to stop it from travelling too far until I get my bow tied. Because normally I would lean it up against my tummy, but I can't do that on video. So I'm actually really pleased with that bow, so I'm not going to mess about with it other than, she said, and she's just pulled one of the loops smaller, just pull it a little bit tighter, pull the ends of these bits of ribbon out so that it moves that gold thread down, and then as you can see it's starting to fray there already. So just pick whatever length you want those ends to be, and I don't want them to be too short. And just, if it hasn't already unravelled on its own, just give it a little twist and it'll unravel nicely. So there we are. So just another wee trim on this side. I think the only problem is you then end up with all these little hairy bits. And then all I did was tidied up the ends of my very vanilla ribbon, and that's my bag made. And rather than some stamping, I just added a couple of the frosted epoxy drops. But I'm wondering, should I try the clear ones this time on this bag? Why not? Let's do something different. So I used the smaller size of epoxy dropped on here, and I'm just going to use the clear ones this time on this bag, just to make it a little bit different to the first one. One there and one about there. There we are. And just give them a little press. I think the clear ones show up a little bit more, but I do like the frosted ones. So that's my bag. I hope you liked it. I'll put a link to the previous project that I did when I'd made this. I think it was 2016, but I'll put a link to the blog post as well so that you can see it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the project, and if you do make it, then I'd love to see what you come up with as well for your bag. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye bye.